to start the mid-April garden update. The theme of this one is so much growth. There's some things I really want to start harvesting, so before I harvest, which will decrease the amount of visible growth, we better get this in. This is the plum tree that I bought last month, and I have repotted it. It's important when you buy trees to check their roots and see if they need to be repotted right away. Are they getting root bound? I did find a need to repot and increase the amount of soil for both the plum tree and an olive tree I bought at the same time. On this olive tree, I do notice a bit of new growth and buds coming out lower down. This definitely is going to be filling out more. Blueberries have been coming along. What I've been doing during the month is, as I see them expanding beyond the trellised area, I have been trying to train while the branches are still pliable before they get too hard, train them back to keep more towards the trellised area. It's not so pliable anymore, but that's what's going on. I may put another stake on this side. I still have to take some of these leaves off of the raspberry, so I will deal with that. Maybe put some spray on there for some antifungal. This lilac has actually had some blooming, and some of it is gone, but there's more blooming to come. I had some pretty lilacs. This side I have repotted this olive tree. This one I didn't get to yet, but I will check on the roots and see about that. The bananas have been progressing. They did have some leaf damage from the hardening off experience, but they are doing well now. Here I have the potatoes. Now, last month they were barely peeking out of the ground, and what did peek out, a bit of it was damaged. I do see someone might be munching a little bit on some of the lower leaves, not a lot, but here we go. Here's a little munch. You can see diatomaceous earth. I might want to spray that. I did look into whether I should maybe prune this for more air, better flow, but it seems like they really need the photosynthesis that they're getting at this point. I will not be pruning the leaves at this time, maybe closer towards harvest. Over here, I have some carrots that have not been coming up. A marigold that has not been coming up. Walla Walla onion. Nothing's coming up here yet. I'm going to check on how long it should take, but I'll let it stay longer anyway. There's weather factors, but carrots can take a long time to germinate. Now, these carrots have been coming up for sure, and they were planted earlier than the other ones, but these carrots have been coming up nicely. My lemongrass is growing, lemongrass and chives. I did a video about the chives and how fast they grow and what to do when they flower early. I'll link to that. Sage is looking good. Mints. Now, the chocolate mint is a little slower, but it's doing well, better than it was last month. Chocolate mint does not come from a seed. It's actually a hybrid. You either buy it at a store or you get a cutting from a friend. But this one is coming back up. It is a slower growth one. And I have my insulin plants are coming along. I have to do a bit of repotting on some of the pineapples. Now the aloes, I have to see if they need repotting. But what's good about the aloes is at first I had them in front of the shed where they spent the winter. I left them there for too long while I was doing other things, and they got some sun damage. Now aloes like heat, but they don't like a lot of sun, especially in the afternoon. So they were turning not too green, and the green is definitely coming back. So they are getting better from having shade. They want heat and not too much bright sun. So the pineapples, they're coming along, but some of them need to be repotted, including supported, because they have definitely been challenged a little by outgrowing their environment. My other Roma tomatoes, I had put in a bed. This one is alone, but growing nicely. Bunch of wandering Jews that still need potting. My dragon fruit definitely needs resupporting, and I will be working on that. Pineapple that definitely needs support and probably a bigger pot. There's a lot to do, and what I can, I do. What I can't, I can't. And you gotta accept that of yourself. Give yourself forgiveness for what you can't, because there's a lot of things that go on in life. Now here is the ponderosa lemon that is forming. I find this plant so intriguing. Any other lemon I have had in the past doesn't have some of the features that this does. I've been helping the pollination when I can with hand pollinating. What I've found is that the female part had incredible stickiness on it, which really helped pollen to stick. And this is the one that took and has a lemon growing, so we will follow that lemon. Smaller, there's another kind of lemon and another banana. Here I have some basil and some rosemary. I was holding my tomatoes here also that ended up getting planted in the bed. And a little more wandering Jew. Shed, I still have some snake plants. I'll check when they're ready to come out, as well as where I'm growing sweet potato slips. It's not quite time to bring that out. I have a little more wandering Jew. This raspberry is looking much better than the other. Here's another lilac. My strawberry tower. I've been picking strawberries most days. I don't see any ripe ones today. I've been enjoying the picking of strawberries. Chives, I need to do some harvesting. So I'm filming this, and I'm going to do some harvesting of various herbs today as well. I've got some beans that are growing nicely. Some tarragon needs harvesting too. That's the Russian tarragon. Here, it really has been growing. That's borage. Here's some beets that have been growing. Oh, I see. I got to pick some clovers as well. I can see this better with the camera than my eyes because I'm not that tall. Here we go. We've got strawberries. Even though I've been picking strawberries, you can see that there's buds that are forming and there's buds that have opened and fruit that's forming. The strawberries progress along and give delicious sweetness, bright red fruit when they're ready. Here's some more beets. Here's some more beets. That's the cylinder beets. They're doing better than the bull's blood beets in terms of height that were planted the same day, March 10th. But they're looking good. Oh, here's a strawberry that's ready to start turning red, hopefully. So that's my strawberry tower. Now, one thing I had previously noted that I separated some of the strawberry plants. I found that, as was recommended, they don't always do the best by separating from the crown through the roots. Sometimes it's because one side gets a lot more roots than the other. Now, there's some that I was giving up on and that I thought wouldn't make it, but by giving them more time, they actually have developed new green and are coming back to life. So more of them made it than I thought, and I wonder if some of the ones that I took out thinking they didn't make it indeed would have if I didn't take them out. Here's some bok choy that I've let go to flower, and I'm going to see about collecting the seeds from that. Watermelon. Now, I've gotten on Amazon these pouches. I just love them. Plant this into your permanent place as is. The roots actually come out from the pouches. These are a non-woven fabric. By doing this, you can start something and transplant it without having any transplant shock, which is especially good for plants where the roots are sensitive to that kind of a thing. They need more frequent watering because they can dry out more easily. They are doing well. This looked like it wasn't going to make it, and now this Russian tarragon is looking much better. Now, thyme doesn't want too much watering. You got to be careful where you put thyme because with too much water, it's not going to make it. Here's some lemongrass. Here, I have a cucumber. What I found that's good with this is I took this bag and I put it in a cup with a little water on the bottom that it can keep on bringing up the water and it doesn't dry out as much. With this flat, I did notice some drying out quickly, and I need to keep watering it or making sure there's water on the bottom so that those seeds don't dry, because with new seedlings, if you let them dry, they may not make it. Sweet potato slip. Planted out about half this bed. My snapdragons are doing wonderfully, and I keep on putting this through here. Let me see if I put it through the here too, if it'll stay better. Or I'll just do a little thing to secure it because it was flopping over the front. This one definitely was getting big. Here's some of those potatoes that were just barely creeping out of the ground, if at all, a month ago. Amazing. And here the lemon balm has grown tremendously. Here's a tomato. This one has definitely been attacked by pill bugs, and I put some more diatomaceous earth down last night regarding that because it wasn't looking healthy. You can see them working. That's unusual during the day. Usually they're gone by then, but within 2 or 3 days the diatomaceous earth, I'll put more down also over there, but they should be able within 2 or 3 days to be killed from that. Over here we got chive. This kohlrabi I gotta measure. It might be ready for harvesting. Here's some more amazing growth on the potatoes that I planted. Here's some thyme, and this is so exciting to me. For a few years, I've tried to plant Brussels sprouts. I never really had success getting the Brussels sprouts themselves. You can see them all forming way down on the stalk between the leaves. This is more success than I've ever had, so I'm looking forward to actually getting Brussels sprouts this year. You can see a little diatomaceous earth there too. Started planting some sweet corn. It hasn't come up yet. My favorite is ambrosia corn. I've found better pollination on more kernels with that than other types I've tried before. The garlic is coming along. This bed, I've had asparagus in here, and I've harvested quite a bit of asparagus. Now there's other things that were growing here, and I tore a lot of it out. I analyzed it. First I was wondering and used some plant identification apps, and it seems like it might have been things I wanted. It ends up it was not. With plant identification apps, sometimes, and this is even Google search of an image, it'll change over time as the plant develops. I was getting some mixed readings about some of the things that were in this bed. So finally what I did is I discussed this with pictures of the various things I was experiencing and posted it to a local Facebook home gardening group. I recommend for you to join that kind of a group. This was one for the state of Georgia. If you're in Georgia, Georgia Backyard Gardening is an excellent group, and I have periodically asked questions there. I also answer other questions. I got a clear consensus from experienced growers with the types of plants that I had coming up, that they were not things I wanted to keep, so I've been digging them up and transferring things. This is going to basically be a tomato bed with companion plants, and I've been researching the companion plants, which basically means plants that attract things that help other plants that you have and deter things that hurt other plants that you have, to see who are the best neighbors. And I've been looking at various things, and so far I have my asparagus, I have a couple of tomatoes, I put some basil, and I also put lemongrass, and I'm going to be building out this with more tomatoes and companions. Tomatoes have definitely grown very well over the last month. Here's another lilac bush. Last month, I believe I saw growth, but no new leaves. I've got lots of leaves going this month and branching out, and this lilac has taken off this year. There's another fence that I have a lot of maypop growing along, and I've been trying to start some on this fence. There were some last year that kind of started in a pot. The soil over here, a lot of things will not grow in. I've got these arborvitae trees, and they put out things that are kind of toxic to a lot of other plants. So I'm trying to do from a pot, and this has definitely taken off in the last month. But I'm going to attach this here. I may put others along and then let it go along the vine. I don't know if it's going to grow from the soil here, but at the very least I can have some pots and have them reach out and across and up and down from there. Planting other plants along here also. A lot of this day doesn't get sun. I see it does get good morning sun. Got to see what will grow under this canopy of arborvitae, which is in the thuja family, which can cause problems for a lot of other things. By the way, it's good when you're planting your garden to take pictures, maybe for a couple of days every hour if you're home, to see where the sun is at different points of the day, so that you can see how many hours of sunlight, afternoon sun and dappled light that you get, so you can have more compatibility between the plant that you want to put somewhere and where it's being put for maximum growth. Figs still growing. I don't see the fruit yet, but they are definitely progressing and growing. Here is a lot of growth on the elderberry. Now, I did find that for some reason it's really branching out low. I've already taken a bit to propagate. I've got 2 sets. Some of them are growing roots nicely in water. It takes quite a number of weeks in water till they have enough to go into the ground. This here also, it's coming up, but I think I'm going to train this. I'll put some support so it can continue to be part of the outside major bush, but with support to keep it from coming to the ground. Lots to do next month. Still got lots of stuff to plant. Most of my crossvine flowers are gone now. There's a few here, but they definitely served their purpose wonderfully of attracting pollinators early. Now there's other things attracting pollinators, so they can stick around. Here is where we have maypops coming up, and I've basically been taking them from lying along the ground and helping them by putting the tendrils onto the fence so they can take over the fence again, as they did last year. Another lilac. It's been really growing well this year. In fact, a month or 2 ago I had trouble even finding it from last year's growth, but this year it's definitely coming along. Maypop that's going up the fence, and I have some more potato here that did get planted later than a lot of the others, like the end of March. These potatoes are coming along out of the ground and gonna climb and produce underneath. Blackberries are coming along. They are growing, they are blossoming, and then where blossoms were, fruit are forming. So we are definitely going to be having blackberries again this year. Here's one where the fruit is forming, where the white petals all had come off as it grew. Now over here, this particular arrangement, I have celery, and I almost was putting one of the celeries into the tomato bed. My celery has lasted a lot longer than it should have from last year. If I put it in the tomato bed, the problem is celery doesn't really like the bright sun, so I kind of keep it shaded. If I put it there, although it's compatible with everything else there, it wouldn't have survived. So this has to be more shaded in the hot sun. I have some rosemary. Definitely want to cut that down. Some watermelons. Some zucchinis. There will, of course, be links in the description to videos that I made along the course of this month that helped some of the plants to get to where they are.